Alright guys, this is for the Dark Souls and Soulsborne Elden Ring challenge players, or people who want to get into maybe doing no-roll challenges. I will say this utmost, first and foremost, utmost important, I am not the best player out there. There are so many players out there that are better than me. But I always thought that there should be some type of guides, like online, for people who want to get into challenge running, specifically like level 1 no rolling. So we have Margit the Fell Omen. I see I'm level 1. I do not like using the club, as Margit is weak to slash damage, so I'm just going to go with it. So the thing with no rolling, if you've never done no rolling before, a lot of the strats carry over from boss to boss. Like, there's a lot of bosses you'll see as you try that staying at a certain position, like behind a leg or right behind them directly, limits what moveset they can do. So I'm going to try to get him to do each specific move that he has and how to handle it without rolling. Now these you can just move side to side. Now the two openers you want the most are when he runs at you and jumps over you, or the move that takes 9 million years, right there. You want to stay right by his leg here. You can't get hit. I'm just going to keep baiting different attacks. That one you want to bait out, same with that. And you want to rush around. The whole fight you want to basically be at his back. The tail, you go the opposite direction. So the whole time you're going around him like counterclockwise. The only time you go clockwise is for the tail, and the tail has a very small hitbox. So as long as you go like a quarter turn around him. Now you never want to be this far from Margit, and for that reason alone, is that he can pull out his daggers. Now he has an idling move. Now this again that's me not getting there in time. If you can't get to him in time, there's a way that you can dodge it using attack actually. But I'm not sure if you can use it on every weapon. I'm pretty sure it might be just the Mantis Blade, which is what I saw it being used on. So let's get away from here. Let's heal without him being a dick. So that move right there, the uppercut, he does that from a queued stance. So if he's not doing anything, you want to assume it's the uppercut. Like if he's just walking around like that, it's not always going to be, but a lot of the time it will be. Again, right behind that leg for that, and this way for the tail. Now, this is like the distance you want to be away from Margit. Because this move there is another one you want to bait out. You don't want to rush in after that. Same with this one. Then when you get the uppercut, rush in behind him. See, now I didn't have enough time. I shouldn't have attacked twice there. And I didn't have enough range. So let's go over the few things I just talked about. The range, the distance that I was staying away from Margit is around the distance you want to be only when you have to bait an attack to run back in around him. You want to always be behind him, right by his tail. If you're too far to the side of him, on either side, he can follow up one of his moves with the double dagger swipe. Now this opening move you can walk right onto him and charge an R2. Be ready for the tail, because a lot of times he likes to do that. There's the tail, go the other way. Everything else is just running to his left side, my right side. Stay by the knee for that move there. You'll get a stagger. That's the one thing the club is good for. You never want to attack Margit when he's getting up. So right there, and that's going to be a little tough getting used to the range. And see, they use the dagger because I was close to his side. But the range of that uppercut, the idling move we'll call it, that one too, it's a little deceptive at first. You'll definitely have a little issue getting it down. But there it is again. And notice how I'm always rushing to his side, to his back. Again, when he gets up, I'm running away, because he often does that. Now the hammer, you can just outdistance. Run back in. I was too far away, so you want to be a little closer than that. Bait that the uppercut. Now this move here, I might not be able to show it in this attempt here. Yeah, that's a hard fucking move to dodge. That hammer swing, the horizontal hammer swing, not the one when he brings it up in the air and slams it vertically. That one isn't too hard. You're just going to do the same thing. You're going to go right around him counterclockwise. Your right, his left. But the one where he swings it horizontally, his staff and then his hammer, that's the hardest move for this kill, by far. What you have to do is you have to delay yourself. Well, if this is him, I'm walking into him, you want to delay for a second and then run around him to throw his tracking off. Now, this move, always a great move to open with. I usually get an R2, a charged R2 and an R1 in. Behind him again, yeah. Now see how he followed up with the dagger? That's because I was too close to his side. I was not all the way at his back. Alright, around this distance. Same with that. Now that move, the double swipe with the dagger, he can follow that move up with his jump. So the jumping swipe. So I don't like to take the chance. I like to assume that he's always going to do it. And I'll try to get him to do the move. Again. But the dagger, he goes 1-2 with the dagger, then jumps towards you with a horizontal swipe. He doesn't always follow up with it, but I'll always assume that he will, just in case. I'm pretty sure it's a positioning thing, whether he follows up with it or not. See, that was me too close to his side because I got hit the first time. Right by his knee. Tail swipe, go around. Alright. That's because I didn't go around his back far enough. Now that's when you want to bait. Anytime that you're not around him, that he hops away basically, like that you could run towards behind him. See now, a perfect example there. He turned around and slashed me because, again, I wasn't fully on the side. I mean on his back, I was to his side. And that jump that he just did, the jumping slash, that's the move I'm talking about with the double dagger, so then he follows up with it sometimes. Yeah, you can go left or right under his staff when he hops away. Now that, you go behind. This, see, you gotta delay yourself by walking into him is the best way. I then run underneath him, and I like to even go sometimes to the back. When I riposte, if I get one, which I did not get there, I do like to riposte him from the front. And I'll try to get an example for why. But for those hammer swings especially, it's a lot easier to dodge them, strafe around them when you're facing him. When you're around his back, behind him, if you backstab him, he gets up and he goes right into that move. It could be disorienting, because then you have to think really on the spot which direction to run around him. Because if not, he'll shift directions and he'll track you. So it's a lot easier to handle those hammer swings from up close, like face to face with him. So I prefer to do the riposte from the front and not a backstab, because he can go right into the hammer swing as soon as he gets up. Bait that. That's basically the move you're always going to be baiting whenever you're far from him. I shouldn't have attacked there because didn't have enough time to dodge the tail. That's the other move too. Those three moves right there, 1, 2, and then the uppercut. This move you can run under or go around, from the front after attacking. after a while you'll get used to, you know, the stuns, whether you got a stun or not. Now I would have gotten hit there because I was being greedy. Yeah, that's far enough. Tail. See how it's a lot different? You can even just see how different it is. Oops, he follows up with that. Alright, what other moves here? That's, you're always going to be baiting that uppercut. Tail. I knew that was going to happen. Now, there's a way right there to lose the tracking on that, on his jump. I'm not sure exactly how to do it. I do it hit or miss. See, and that's why for that move, for the 38-year ready to swing move, why you want to never be too far from Margit, because if he starts that move up, and there's the hammer swipe again. So it's almost like going around him and forward. So like going around and forward, if that makes sense. And that's the move right there that I said that he could follow up with, the 2 daggers, but not always. I like to assume that he does. So let's see if we can get some more examples out. And just some information with me, with challenge running. I've been playing Dark Souls since the first Dark Souls came out. I missed Demon Souls. And did some Soul Level 1 runs, mostly just on Dark Souls 1, until about like 2 years ago I started challenge running, well, the rest of the games, and doing +0 weapon run, Soul Level 1, and then finally got into no rolling and no sprinting. I have some, now that's something I want to talk about. I have some playlists of all my, not all, but most of my challenge runs. But now when you just saw him do the uppercut, from far away, from close up, I'm not sure what triggers that. I'm not sure why he uses it up close. I'm guessing it's I didn't bait the previous attack out. So like I said, I'm not an expert, but I've gotten the kill, and I pretty much know Margit's AI in and out now, for the most part. That being one of the things I don't. So I'll try to get that example again, but there's sometimes that he'll use that. And you can also outdistance the tail also, but there's really no reason to. That's because I went too far around him. So let's see, bait the uppercut, go right around his side to his back, get a charging. That's probably too much. Okay. And if, of course, if you're ever out of stamina, just back off to this range or so, and back around him. I went too far around him. That'll either, like I said, he can pull out the daggers. Either if you go too close around, too close to his sides, like you didn't go around him enough, or if you go too far around him to his other side, he can pull out the dagger for either one of those situations. Now there is a way, not like that though. There is a way it's a cooler looking strafe. There's really no reason to use it. I'm sure it's useful on no sprinting and no rolling kills, but kind of like how his jumping hammers slam out of nowhere that he can use in second phase. You can throw the tracking off. And I was close to the cliff there, so I want to try it again this next time. But usually I find if you circle around him and then cut to the right, it'll throw his tracking off. Now let's see, again, he can either open up with that a lot of the times. That's the one we bait all the time, the uppercut. There's the tail, and you can hit him right after circling for the tail. Oops. See, like if he hops away and I'm here, I don't want to charge right in. I want to bait that uppercut. Oops. You can also hit him when he's hopping away if you're fast enough. Oops, no. Too far to his side. Okay. So let's go over quick what we have. We have the distance around to stay Margit, to stay from him. When you're having to bait out an attack to get close to him, again, circle to his back. Besides that, you always want to be circling around him counterclockwise, around his left side, your right, around to his back. Anytime he hops away and he puts distance between you, you want to bait that uppercut or that other move that he can use, the slash, and just bait it. Usually if he uses the slash first, don't run in after that. You just want, if he does the slash, just bait again, and most likely you'll get the uppercut. And then just run in for the uppercut and around him. The two moves that are the best to punish are the ones when he slowly jumps and floats in the air over you, because you can go right underneath him, start charging before he even lands. And the holding his staff over his head 30 years to execute move is when you want to be right by his back leg, his knee. And you can sometimes get two charged R2s, but I don't risk it a lot of the time. Now, also, we talked about being on his side too far, or not going around him enough. Like, say you're on the side, you want to go fully around him. If you go too much around him to his other side, you can also turn around with the daggers. Let's see what else here. I want to make sure I cover all. For some reason, when I attack these things and break them, there's a lot of times it'll force him to throw his daggers and to jump like that. I don't know if it's just coincidence, but it happens a lot. So a lot of the times I'll come in and I'll break those. By his knee. Oops, missed. Like I said, if you want stamina to regen. Now, that's the one other thing I'm not sure of with his AI. Sometimes he'll throw the daggers from that far away. That way, you can kind of just go back and forth with it. But I'm not sure what makes him throw his daggers when you're close. Uppercut, we go in, circle around. Circle around, get him, stun. First phase, it doesn't matter back or front to repulse him because he's not using the hammer move. Bait. See, that's the move I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Why he does it up front. I'm not positive. I'm sure it's a positioning thing, as most no roll stuff is just positioning. It's knowing what positions nullify certain attacks from being able to be used, what positions and range from the boss, or where you're standing behind them, what moves can hit you, where the hitboxes end. And like I said, a lot of this translates to other bosses in the series. Like, I've taught myself, without looking at a friend's kill or somebody else's kill, Godric, basically, just from using other past experiences. Now, when he hops, perfect example, except I got stuck in here. If he hops more than once away, you're going to always want to assume he's going to do the uppercut, because 95 or more % of the time, that's what he does. So if he hops away more than once, like second hop, always back off and assume it's the uppercut and bait it, and then run back in. And then so soon we'll start talking more phase 2 stuff. See how he's running? I don't know if that gets triggered by something, but I don't know. I've always noticed it. Tail. Hit after the tail. Up. Oh, he didn't go around enough. So you never want to be that far like I just was. That's why I'll move closer to him. You especially don't want to be that far for that move right there. Because if you're too far, you're screwed. Unless you're so far away that you can, that you can outdistance it. That's the one move to bait. That's another one. That one, you would just turn from the one dagger and run straight backwards, because he can follow up with that sometimes. Tail. See, he hops. It wasn't the uppercut, but it was the other move that you want to bait. Oh, fuck me. Now, if you gotta go from this side, I go right behind his tail. For some reason, if you're blocked on the right side, because the arena can be annoying in here. That was the move I was just saying, that you want to go right, or to the side for the dagger, and then run backwards. Up. I thought that was gonna happen. That usually the distance, like to get the distance right, is not too bad. But you still make stupid mistakes here and there. See, that close. I don't know. It could be input reading from using the S's just now. That might be what it was. But I don't have the answer 100%. If anyone else in the challenge running community sees this, see, that's me too far and close in front of that. If anyone in the community sees this and does know answers to the few questions I'm still missing answers on, let me know, and we'll leave in the comments for everybody. So let's see if he does it again. See, he does that often. I mean, those throwing, it could just be from him throwing. Like he would from a distance, but other times he doesn't. There's the uppercut. We're going to rush in behind him. Gonna charge in R1. Right by his knee. Get a stagger. Hit the riposte. You can usually get a second R2 in after, that's the move again there I was showing the last attempt. See, now you don't want, that wasn't wise of me. You don't want to stand in front of him. Standing in front of him might as well be to the side of him. Same thing. You can use the dagger attacks. Bait the uppercut, go around. Alright, see how I backed off though? Is he hopped twice, just to make sure. Alright, now let's see if I can, now, like I said, usually he'll always distance himself like that before phase 2. So, I like to point the camera down just to see where the shockwave ends. Alright, now here. See? I didn't delay enough. See, there I cut right. That I was too slow. And after a while, you'll start to realize the reason why you made a mistake. Like, alright, I was too far to the side, that's why the dagger hit me. Or, I was too slow going around that, see, I went around that fine. You kind of want to trace his back for that move. I went too far around him, hence the daggers. That one single poke, that's a baitable attack in phase 2. I want to bait again. See, I'm not sure. Oops, and we're falling. See, so I'm pretty sure for that one, it's just go straight, and like make a counterclockwise circle, and then cut right. But I'm not 100%. Sometimes it works, and then a few times it doesn't. So I'm sure someone has the answer for which direction you got to cut in order to throw the tracking off. Right under him. R1, tail, no tail. Do that one, up with that. Alright, no uppercut, we got even better. That move. Tail. I didn't want to run out of stamina, so I backed up. Baited the uppercut again. Got another stagger. Or the first dagger? Forgot one already. Uppercut. See, he hopped again and used the uppercut. That's why I backed off. Alright. Phase 2. Rush right back to him. That's a great opening right there, because now you can get 2 charges in. Oh, come on. Could have got that. That was a missed opportunity. But that hammer slam, you're going to see more of that. Rush back behind him on that single sword. See how I trace his body as I go around? Now you can slow that down if you need to for any of these. But you'll see me walk into him and then kind of trace his body around. And then go forward like I'm going past him. So it's kind of like, alright, let's see if this works. Does not work. But I was far away from him. I'm going to be far away from this. That's what happens when you're not far enough. Oh, okay, I took that damage. Now that's the move I want to talk about. Which we will next time I can get him to do it. Now that move, the spinning move, you shouldn't see it often. But when he does do it, you basically want to just run counterclockwise around him. So if he's circling this way, you want to go just like this, you know, running around him. You don't have to run, but you can sprint also, walk also, but, you know, if you feel like you need to pick up speed a little bit, then just sprint a little bit. Alright, got that. R1, tail. Hit him. Oh, see, I didn't go around him enough. Fuck. Let's roll this just for now. And if you're going for like a flawless kill, then usually once I get hit, I just practice more. See? That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier when I said the double daggers. He could follow it up with the jump and assume that he is. That was the move there. So always assume he's going to do that, even if he doesn't. Because I'm not sure how you can dodge it, no roll, without running away. You might be able to run under it, but I don't think so. I mean, Melania has a similar animation for her jump, gap closer, and you can run right under that. Alright, so I hope this is starting to make a little bit of sense. So let's see what we can get him to do. Go right under. Missed him, that's a great way to win. Tail. Hit him. Always chasing around to his back. I back off a little. Uppercut. Shouldn't have done 2 charges because I didn't have enough time to avoid the tail. See right here, running just in case. Oops. Run to his knee. Oh, there you go. That's actually, I did find that out recently. If you time it perfectly, you can dodge the tail with 2 charge R2s. Now, I don't know if it's that just with the club or in club class of weapons, or I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I was going to try to show that other strafe. See, that's why it's difficult from behind him. But that's what you would do, is go the other way. Oh, not nowhere to go. But you would go the other way around him. Like, whatever way it seems like he's about to swing, you still have to delay yourself a second. You still gotta wait that second, like you would be walking into him from in front. But you gotta just wait the second and back, and then go the opposite direction, and you'll be able to circle all the way around him without getting hit. Let's see if I can get an example of that. Good start with this move. Nope, got stuck on his leg. And that'll happen time to time, especially when you're first starting no rolls kills. See, I should not attack that the second time because I got hit. Uppercut went in too far. Now that is an odd one. That was the uppercut, but I went through between his staff and his body. I'm not sure what triggers it and what doesn't. Because sometimes, when I said earlier that he can use it up close very rarely, and it's got to be a positioning thing of sorts, I'm not sure exactly what causes him to use the uppercut when you're up at a distance. When you're up close. But you can sometimes dodge between his staff and himself. See, that's a bullshit move too. I'm not sure either. So there's 3 moves in general, all in all, really, that I don't have the answer 100%. The tracking for the hammer moves, how to throw them off by running under them. This hammer one is easy, just run right to his back. See how I delay, I run, and I run away, but you don't have to run away that much. So it's like I'm doing tracing around his hip and then going forward. See, now it was me going right, cutting right at the end, and that worked. So I don't know if you have to be a certain thing. That would have been good to show off there. See, that time I survived the uppercut. Alright, so it's looking pretty consistent. Holding right. Cutting right after going underneath the single hammer slam. Not the opening one when he swings and jumps up. The one when he just standalone jumps up and in the air and comes down with the hammer. Seems like just run under him and cut to the right. Again, I'm not sure if that's 100% consistent. Alright, dodge those. He's running towards me, perfect. You can even get a regular R2 after the first charged R2. Well, of course, it all depends on the weapon you're using also. As I said, I don't like using the starting club because he is weaker to slash damage. See, I didn't time that right. The duck attack to duck the tail. See, now that it makes sense of why he uses it up close, because I went right in after that slash move, that move. You're not supposed to go in. Bait that, and then bait the uppercut. Also, for camera settings, since you're gonna see, I always step away when he goes more than one hop. For camera settings, you're gonna wanna especially get used to not locked on, not being locked on. There are, throughout the series, some kills, some bosses that it helps more to be locked on. There's a lot of them that it's better to be locked off. Depends on the boss, and depends on the player and how they work with lock on and without it. Like, I've seen people lock on to bosses for kills most people never lock on for, and vice versa. There he is. Alright, so get charged R2, R1, tail, R1. Oh, I went too wide around him. You want to stick to his side for most of going around him. And that's pretty much a general rule with all no roll, no sprint kills. You're going to want to be as close to his side going around as possible. Oops, didn't want to fall off the cliff. That's the move there. Like, at a certain distance, you can deal with it. See, there I just broke my own rule of he hopped twice and I still went towards him. So do as I say, not as I do. Now I'm gonna do another video after this for Godric, so look out for that one after this one's posted. If you guys love the Dark Souls series, this is primarily a horror channel. I'm a horror fanatic, but I also stream challenge kills and practice for challenge kills and challenge runs a few times a week. And I plan on doing, if people think this is helpful, I'd like to do more no-roll guides. But like I said, I am definitely nowhere near the best type of player in these games, so they're not going to be 100% every question that you could possibly have, but as much information as I know, that I'll get to you. There, maybe get a stagger, nope. Alright, see, that was me waiting too long. So you don't want to delay too long, you don't want to delay too short. If you delay for too short amount of time, then he's going to turn around and hit you because you're going to still be tracked. If you wait too long and go around, you're not going to get around him in time. So again, it's basically walking into him, like if he's this line right here, that line of concrete, he's here, you're walking into him for a second, and then going around and out a little bit, and then come back and attack. So around, out. Tracing his hip forward a little and attack. Around, tracing his hip out. Going out a little afterwards, that kind of just gives you a little extra safety with clearing the hammer, so the hammer doesn't hit your face as you're going around. Now, if I gotta run to that move, if I'm too far away and I gotta run, then I'm just gonna do a running R1 or running R2 and no charge attack, because you won't have enough time. Never do that what I just did, because I don't know why I did it. But never attack him when he's getting up, as I said. Never really attack him from the front either. This is the what not to do's. I thought I'd get the riposte, I did not. I was not close enough, so I rolled so I wouldn't die, so I can keep showing examples. Another baitable attack, bait the uppercut, and then in we go. Around. Tail. Now, the fancy one is that. I don't know why I walked right into that. That's the thing, is that you only really see that spin move and I'm off the cliff. The spin move you only really see, I mean, I've seen it, don't get me wrong, but most of the time that I see it, it's after I get hit by an attack, and the attempt is null and void anyway, because I always go for flawless. No hit. But that's the one you want to go just run counterclockwise underneath him for his spinny move. Charge R2, regular R2, R1, bait, uppercut. Oops. I'm out of stamina. I was low on it, so. I thought that would stagger him, but it wasn't. Wasn't enough. It cooled down. Yeah, that's right. So it seems like cut right for both of the jump in the air hammer moves, because that starting one just now I did the same thing. See, that was 2 hops and he did that baitable attack. Oops, too close. And chip behind me. Yeah, the arena is annoying, it definitely can be. See, that's why I shouldn't run in after that. That's why that's a baitable attack. See, that's a move that I'm not, that's the second move that I was talking about that I'm not sure 100% why he does that up close at that angle, at that distance, or position. Oops. I ran out of stamina. I was going to try to do that strafe again. Alright, so let's practice more of just phase 2 and then I'll end this. But yeah, if you guys, if this helped in any way, leave a comment. If you happen to get the kill after practicing a bit, definitely leave a comment posting it. I'd love to see it. He's definitely, he's a difficult boss. He's a complex boss. So it's going to be a little difficult, especially if this is your first, like, ever experience with no rolling Souls games. But he is very fun. He is one hell of a fun boss to no roll. Alright, bait and attack. Go in for that. Punish. Oops. And then don't forget, after those daggers, the 1-2, he can follow up with the jump swipe move, which is why I always run away. Double hop, usually always a bait move. That one, or, you know, that one, or the uppercut. They're right there. I don't know what makes him do that up close. So it's kind of, I know it's not RNG. It's just a thing I'm not sure. That's good. Uppercut. Go around him. See, I was too far out from him. I wasn't close enough to his side. Alright, so we'll do a phase 2, maybe 2 phase 2s. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, leave a comment. I'd be happy to let you know if I have the answer. I'm actually retrying to get this kill because on my kill I accidentally rolled. But I rolled when Margit was staggered on the ground. So, I mean, there was nothing he can do. So it didn't change the outcome of the fight. But I'm a perfectionist, and it still bothers me that there's an accidental roll there. So I've been grinding it a little more, too, to get this kill again. You can see the kill. I'll put the kill in the description. And this is also +0 weapon, if anyone did not know that. So soul level 1, or rune level 1 for Elden Ring. +0 weapon, or unupgraded weapon. No roll, block, parry. Now, in the challenge running community, for those of you who are new to new roll or new to challenge runs, there always, when you say you're doing a no roll kill, it always includes blocking and parrying. Because think about it, if you're trying to end a restriction for a challenge, and then you just parry a boss to death the whole time, yeah, you can do it without rolling. But it's not utilizing no rolling strats or anything. Same with blocking. You can block on end. See, that one I was running back for. And now you can also jump. Is a very cool addition to Elden Ring, just because it adds another layer of complexity. Oh, see? I ran into it. His second hop. He did the uppercut. But the jump button adds some complexity to the challenge running community, because now you can have kills with using jump, or you can have kills not allowing jump. Now, no sprint, for people who don't know, means obviously just no sprinting as well as no running. So that would mean you'd have to really learn these strafes in and out. I've not gotten a no sprint kill on him yet. I haven't really tried, but I know there are a few differences. Sometimes for some bosses in the series, the no sprint kill might only have one or two different strategies for one or two different moves, and that's it. Everything might be the same. Or it can be completely different strats, no sprinting and rolling, compared to just no rolling. For Margit, I'm not sure since I haven't tried it, but if I'm just trying here, run to the side, you can get around him. I can't attack once there. I mean, I can only attack once there. I don't know if I can. You're going to always want to be close to get that in time. Yeah, you're going to have to bait out an attack every time. So a lot of other no sprint bosses similar. Oops. That you would have to bait out a normal attack. So bait out the uppercut, go in, tail, back off. That I'm not sure. I should have went around him probably. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to get to that. I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd have to look up no sprint kills. But I do know for the AoEs, for the hammer slams, you can jump the AoEs. So if that, for some reason, if you're having trouble, you can do that. Yeah, like you don't have to restrict jump as well. So you can just jump over the AoEs and even get a jump attack in, which you have the same opportunity in no rolling Godric, which I will show in the Godric video after this. Uppercut, go around. Didn't go fully around him. Oh, thought I was going to get that cool attack dodge. Which there are a few of them, actually, with no roll and no sprint. Fume Knight from Dark Souls 2 comes to mind. You can use the Rapier, which is the go-to SL1 weapon for Dark Souls 2. And you can actually use the R1 attack to duck Fume's large Ultra Greatsword. I believe Moog on no roll here also has a strat that involves attacking in order to dodge a move. Back to the knee. Tail, maybe? No. Go around him. Tail. Here, let's see. Around. Yep, it seems consistent. That's what I mean from behind him. See how I switched directions? And I still wasn't sure? And I got turned around on? That's what'll happen. You can do that. You know, jump the AoEs. See, up close there is because I didn't bait. That's why he used it there. Got the hammer swing. But See, I wanted to be in front of him just in case he used the hammer swing. Alright, so I'll do another phase 2 or so, and that's pretty much all there is to it. That's pretty much all the strafes for all the moves. And now you can even use no-roll tactics in regular combat, which the good thing about it is it saves a lot of stamina. I'll take this guy over here, circle around him for a backstep. That's a no-roll strat right there, just circling around their backs. Go around, circle around the back, whoop, circle around the back. And you can use that with any enemies. Oops, not when you're getting fucked with a spear from behind. Whoops. There we go, get him out. Oops, well that's stupid. But yeah, so you can just you can start utilizing some no-roll strategies in regular areas and with just regular enemies. Especially, obviously, anything human size. So let's try 1 or 2 more tries. Oops, I pivoted. I hate pivoting by accident. It's one thing they have to be able to fix in Demon Souls. And that's one move you'll never see. Unless you're not positioned right. Alright, let's destroy these. No reason. Charge R2, regular R2, tail, double hump, okay. Repose. Uppercut, go around. Oops, shouldn't have attacked that second time. See, I should have baited that. But see how you'll start to learn as you learn each of these strafes. You'll learn what was your what did you do wrong for each time you get hit. Like I knew that was because I was too far to his side. Oh man, the range on that's real fucking deceptive. Yeah, it does seem to work. I see. Too much time before going around him. I delayed too long. It's a sweet spot. You'll find the sweet spot between of how long to delay yourself. Sometimes just using an R1 attack, then going around him is a good indicator of the amount of time. Like just walk as you're walking into him, just do an attack, then run around him. Usually that's a decent tell on how long to stall. But again, that depends on the weapon you're using and if it's how fast a weapon. So don't use that as the sole way to figure out how long to delay yourself. You'll be able to find out. do that for a reason, to show not to do that. And that's how you go around that. But I was still far on the side, and he could follow that 3-move combo up with his daggers that we just saw. Stagger. Oops. Able attack. Oops. Didn't have enough time for that. Now we got phase 2 coming soon in a second. There we go. Like I said, if you're close, you can just jump the shockwave. Oops, too wide around him. Dagger? No. See, I was close to missing the repose, so I did it from the back. But again, like I said, I like to do it standing up. Oh shit, I just pivoted right into that. Okay, that's cool. I want to try to get that one move, the circle spin move. I gotta try running. For that move, try running around, clockwise around him, under his staff arm. So your left side. You'll start to notice with no rolling that the hitboxes on a lot of weapons, on a lot of bosses in the series, don't start until they swing it. So there's a lot of times you can run, if you're trying to learn a new boss, how to maybe strafe an attack, try going around the side that their weapon is coming from. Now again, that's not a hard rule, but just something that you see common in the series. That's him idling. So he's going to do most likely the uppercut or that. Yep. See, that's the move I'm not sure of why he does it at that distance. Up. Ran into this stupid thing. Alright, one more phase 2. So I'm about to hit the hour mark. So I hope this helped some of you guys, and you guys that are looking into maybe trying no-roll tactics or certain bosses. I'm still learning myself in Elden Ring here, so that was 2 things. See, that's, I had nowhere to run, but that's what he follows up with, the 2 dagger swipes. Oops, I was gonna get hit. And see, that was me going around the left, my left, his right. You can do that swipe, hop, dodge either way. Oops, too far around. Oh yeah, that's when he does that shit.